Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another gameplay video. Today we are working with some of the new set 10 cards. This is myself on the bottom side of the screen playing the new mono blue Vegito deck, and on the top side of the screen Danny Wynn is playing the new Zamasu deck. So we're basically pitting these up against each other, seeing what they do. I'm actually a really big fan of the Vegito leader, as you guys may have seen in yesterday's video. I think this leader is super strong, very worthy of being meta. Guys, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss a video. If you want to help support the channel, there are many free ways to do that right now during these trying times. You can like the video, maybe watch an ad, maybe share the video. And if you want to pre-order any of the cards you see in today's video, you can always use my link in the description to TCG Player. That being said, if you want to see any deck profiles from this gameplay, let me know in the comments below. I will make that happen for you guys. You're going to see in my hand Isekai Keeping Watch. Now, it's so cool that these monocolor decks actually have turn 1 plays again. That was kind of something that I missed throughout the whole multicolor kind of format. But now that we have turn 1 plays again, it's so cool. Now, you can tell that Danny's going to attack my leader with his Zamasu instead of my 1-drop Goku. Now, these leaders can attack anything in draw, which is kind of unusual. Typically, we see attack leader draw card in most scenarios, but his Zamasu can attack anything. But he's not going to attack my 1-drop Goku, because if he does, I 1 get to awaken, and 2, the Goku has an effect that says when you KO it, you can look at top 7, add a blue unison card. Now, what's really funny about this new set, and we just saw kind of some of the green spoilers that show the same thing, when you play the new super combos, they get effects. So, in the case of Zeno, you draw a card. In the case of the new Vegeta that was spoiled, your opponent discards a card. And, you know, they still have their additional super combo effects when you combo with them, you know, do X, Y, or Z. But you have to play them, which puts them in a very vulnerable position. That's such an interesting thing here, how these new super combos work. And I love the balance aspect by Bandai. You know, they didn't just say, when you combo with Vegeta, your opponent discards one and you draw one. That would be too broken. But it's basically a 1 energy super combo that does that. Your opponent discards one, you draw one. But you're putting that super combo in harm's way, which does come up in this gameplay, as you will see. Now, kind of unfortunate here, I don't have my turn 2 unison card, but neither does Danny from the looks of it. So we're kind of at the same pace here in terms of that. Dispo is probably the best 2-drop blue play in a generic blue deck right now. But the Vegito would be so much better, because it would kind of force Danny into attacking the 1-drop Goku or just not dealing damage to me in general. So both of those would be pretty good. Dispo, unfortunately, is not going to be too great here, because Danny's deck does have a lot of indestructible battle cards. So we'll have to keep that in mind. One more thing I want to note is, you'll see in my hand I am playing the Zamasu super combo. Now, nothing in this deck really requires you to play monocolor, although it's kind of hard to play multicolor with such a high number of unison cards, because you're playing a lot of dead cards in your deck. You're playing a lot of 10k combos, you're playing a lot of cards you can't combo with. However, you can play any of the multicolor super combos. There's really no restriction on your deck in terms of that. So I find a lot of success with this Zamasu super combo. It's just one of the best super combos in the game. You know, your opponent attacks with a battle card, you tap the leader, they lose out on draws. That's especially relevant against Zamasu, because on the backside they have dual attack and they draw on both attacks, not just on one attack. So getting your opponent caught off guard with that is so good. So going into turn 3 here, Danny is going to hit his Zeno unison card. So that does put me in a bit of a precarious situation. I think his turn would have actually been nuts if he saw it on turn 2. So he's actually been delayed a turn, which is very good for me. But on the flip side, the Tragedy Foreground, which is the wing addition to this deck, you know, playing that big Zamasu that you see in Danny's energy and getting the Tragedy Foreground, that's not like a huge boon to this deck. It's not a really big problem, because we have unison cards. You know, that thing really does destroy all types of battle cards, which is kind of annoying, but it doesn't really do anything to unison cards. And you'll see that we just drew the Super Saiyan Gotenks. I do wish I had the Gogeta, which is the other unison card I'm playing in the deck. I really wish I've seen that by now. But we have Gotenks, which is actually so good with this leader. Dual attack blocker. And the dual attack is nuts, because there is no like arrival or negate that we've seen yet that can actually interact with unison. So having dual attack on the Gotenks means that my opponent has to negate the attacks, otherwise my leader will give the unison card triple strike, but he has to negate 2 attacks, because activate battle. So I can attack, and if he negates, I don't lose anything. I can attack again. If he negates, I don't lose anything. I don't have to activate the Vegito effect because it's activate battle. That's such a good pairing right there. Super Saiyan Trunks as well. The counterplay that you'll see that I just drew into my hand. Such an excellent card. It's so crazy strong. But anyways, at this point, we're trying to pile beaters onto the board here until we get to a unison card. because Danny is at 4 life, so just about every attack here is pretty much threatening. So he's going to combo a 5k there. I'm going to play the Isekai Keeping Watch. Just a really good blue 1-drop. Like, it's so great against like Bardock Raider's Warcry, Topo Rage's Aid, just any deck that's playing cards on your turn. And we're playing a mono blue deck that has turn 1 plays, so it's kind of like, why not play it? So we are going to go leader into the Zeno super combo. I'm not killing him this turn. I'd rather just get rid of a super combo, which again, I tapped it with one of my super combos, and I mentioned how having to play your super combos to the board makes them very vulnerable. So we're kind of messing around with that right now. We're trying to see, well, is playing the super combo really the best bet? Kind of hard to tell at this point. I mean, I guess we're trying to figure it out, you know. My hand's looking pretty good. Unfortunately, the UI Goku counterplay is not very live in this game in general. Like, I don't have 4 energy yet, but also the indestructible stuff really does put a damper on that card. I only played 2 in the deck because I feel like it's one of those cards you kind of just have to have it in your blue deck, but honestly a lot of times it is kind of lackluster. It's just there for the random, like, you know, Gogeta 7 matchups. Sometimes it's pretty good against successors, so that's pretty important. But I think the Trunks counterplay is way more relevant in this matchup. I just don't have a Unison card to make it live yet. My hand is looking pretty stacked. I do have the Gotenks that's probably coming down next turn. I do have double Ultra Instinct Kamehameha, just a card you would play in the deck because we are mono blue. We are 49 blue cards and 1 black Smoke Dragon. So Danny's going to go for his fusion play here. Really unfortunate thing is indestructible. Once again, I can't really do anything about that, and I don't have the Unison card to make the Trunks live. Otherwise, I'd be in a pretty good spot if I did have that. But in all honesty, the Zamasu boss monster they just played on me isn't super threatening because it's a 35k dual attack, and like, yeah, if it goes in for damage, I'm probably taking that damage. But we're in a combo here, and again, I talked about it before, tapping the leader. He didn't gain his dual attack yet, so he's just not drawing cards with his leader this turn. I'll combo up to a 40k with a Ultra Instinct Kamehameha and a super combo. Insane value there. He does have another swing with the Zamasu, which is kind of like whatever. If he swings at my leader, I'm okay with taking the damage. If he swings at my Dispo, I am perfectly fine with drawing a card when that is removed from the board. So we'll see what he opts to do here. This is going to go out with the leader. And I will take a damage off of that. So Danny's going to use the activate main of his Zamasu to grab the Tragedy foreground. That's going to put the Dispo and the Isekai in my energy and rest mode. Dispo will trigger to draw me a card, I believe, because it's leaving the board by a skill. Now we're going to draw for turn. In just a moment. Me and Danny are probably talking through a few things here. So we're going to draw for turn here. Go to charge phase. See if we want to charge anything. And the really funny thing is the Tragedy foreground actually helps me a lot in this scenario, because it gives me the extra energy to drop Gotenks and to use my leader ability to give it the plus 10k triple strike, which is so funny. Like, that Goku Black counterplay card is super really good, but the fact that it requires Unison in play makes it dead sometimes. I think I might cut it from the main deck, maybe put it in the sideboard depending on matchup. Like, it's kind of like Denial of Hope. Like, it's good in certain scenarios, but not great in all scenarios. So we're going to go with Gotenks. I actually ended up paying 5 for it, so I made it a 5 marker Unison card, and I used the Draw 2 ability, which is so insane. So we're going to go Vegito into leader, tap the super combo, untap an energy. Now, I want to force him to 3 life here because he is at 4. And then I want to go for the Gotenks triple strike. So we'll see if Danny decides to defend here or if he decides to take the damage. And he did lose access to his super combo, which, again, Zamasu super combo, very good, especially against these super combos that play themselves to the board. Danny's going to Dimension Magic off of life. And then I'm going to go for the second swing on the Gotenks. He will Dimension Magic again. And that seems like it's going to end my turn. I finally have the Trunks online. I have 2 negates, 2 Sensu Beans. The Hit Deadly Vanguard, not going to be super useful in this matchup because, again, Indestructible is annoying. But besides that, I think we're looking okay here. I can't play battle cards, but I don't really need to play battle cards to meet my win condition. You can see I'm just hovering over that trunk, just waiting to use it. That thing is coming down probably at some point this next turn if he tries to play anything. So Danny's going to use the Zeno ability to add a free energy. One thing I think Danny could actually play in a deck that I mentioned to him, Encouraging Presence Manaka. Normally it's a card that's kind of like a meme. It's not super great, but he's mentioned a lot of times that in the deck he didn't have a way to use the energy before he had to kill it off, like at least for a simple 1-drop type of play. But the problem is he could use Encouraging Presence Manaka, kill the energy. That's dual attack, double strike, draw 2 cards. Seems pretty good, and Manaka replaces itself, so that's pretty neat. He's gonna play the Goku Black here. And this is almost definitely going to get trunked because I don't want him to kill 2 of my energy. I also don't want him to swing for a triple strike. So I couldn't get triple strike swing, but that would cause me to use Sparking, which I don't really want to do. So we are going to use the Trunks ability. And it does counterplay instead of being played, which is very important, which means that his enter play effects with the Goku Black will not trigger. So very good to know there. Rose is going to go back to his hand. His other Goku Black is going to stay on the field. And he kind of just wasted 4 energy for nothing. I did lose a card from hand, but it's so worth it in the sense of resetting his tempo like that. We'll see what Danny aims to do with the rest of his turn here. He could attack into my Unison card, although he would have to combo into it. But if he did, I wouldn't be able to really do anything about it. So it looks like he's going to go for the dual attack here on the leader. I imagine he's going to swing into my leader. So I'm going to go Senzu Bean on the leader, which pretty much invalidates both of his attacks. He'll swing again for the double draw, though, which is actually insanely strong on that leader. Looks like Danny's deciding how to end up his turn. Looks like he's going to pass it over to me. We charge in the gate. That means we're going in. So Gotenks going to swing at the leader. And I don't use the draw 2 effect here because there is that new extra card. I think it's something about confidence. I forget the name of the card in actuality, but it is a 2-drop blue extra card. Activate battle. It can remove a marker from a Unison card. So I don't want to attack and go all in with my Unison card and risk losing to that card. So kind of unfortunate with that I don't want to do that there. So he negates the first Gotenks attack. I do have another one, which can always get the triple strike from the leader. And if I had another Unison card, I could just play it on top and go in again. Looks like we're talking something over at this very point, so seeing what the resolution of that is going to be. So Danny is going to opt to take a life off that Dimension Magic, which I think was a misplay. I mean, maybe he needed the cards to his hand, but even if he does negate this this Gotenks attack, my leader is now a vulnerable game shot. Although he gets a little cocky here with a play we'll see in just a second. So we're using the leader ability. We're giving the Gotenks plus 10k and triple strike. Even though he's at 1 life, doesn't matter. Still want to give the plus 10k because it's super strong. We're going to go Senzu Bean. 35. That's going to put us to 50. That's going to put us to 60, 70, 80, and 85, I believe. So now we'll see Danny's response. He's going to go Plan for Destruction. So here's the really crazy play of Plan for Destruction. He's going to go Plan for Destruction, give the leader 10k, put it in his energy, and then when he combos with a Zeno, he gets to add Plan for Destruction back to his hand and basically charge a new energy in active mode, which is pretty crazy. looks like he's gonna charge another copy of Plan for Destruction, which is kind of weird. Oh wait, maybe not. I guess he hasn't played the actual energy yet. A little bit of a technical difficulty here, maybe. Okay, so he's gonna charge his Zamasu, get the 5k out of your hand, reuse the 10k combo. So that's a 35k leader and a 10k from the super combo. So that's 45k. That's gonna be 60k from the Ultra Instinct Kamehameha. Another 5k. Oh, he doesn't want to combo that. He wants to use that as a win condition next turn. That's 80, I believe. 85. Needs 5k more to get out of this. And 5. So Danny does get out of the attack now. Unfortunately for him, I still have a leader swing and I still have a draw 2 effect on the Gotenks to draw 3 more cards, and he is at 1 life. Again, the Dimension Magic off the life was a bit of a misplay, but he got a little cocky and thought he could out-combo me. He did out-combo the Gotenks with that Zeno and Plan for Destruction play, but I guess he didn't anticipate me drawing a super combo and an Ultra Instinct Kamehameha, which was actually pretty broken. Pretty broken. So Zamasu is going to tap the Goku Black. I do draw an Ultra Instinct, which draws me another card, and that's a 5k combo, and that's going to wrap the game up here. So really interesting thing here is I think the Zamasu deck is very strong for what it aims to do, but maybe the win condition can kind of change around a bit, because I don't think the Tragedy foreground is too strong. I mean, it will pretty much murk you if your leader isn't super strong and if you play too many battle cards and don't rely any on unison cards. But if your deck relies on unison cards, you're probably going to be fine. So if you guys want to see any deck profiles, definitely let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time.